Hello everyone. So in this video, let us do something interesting with Scriptrunner, and this will be hopefully useful for a lot of you who are, of course, trying to do automations. Now, in this video, what I want to do is I want to simply understand how sprints are stored in Jira. Of course, we'll not just look at the field. We'll look at how we can retrieve the sprint data and how we can use it maybe in some other automation. Basically, we'll focus on sprints, and we'll focus on active sprint. We'll understand how the active sprints are stored, or basically where to find all those sprints that are active or maybe not active, or maybe in future, because you may want to do something with this information, right? So let us do that. And what I will do is I will first open this Jira board. Now I have, of course, this board here where I will create some sprints. Maybe I have some sprints already, but let us take a look. So we have this sprint, which is active sprint, and when you have a sprint in Jira, of course, it can be active, it can be closed, it can be in feature. So let us say if I create a new sprint, so this is sprint number 3, and I can say that this sprint will start sometime in future. Let us pick up a date. Come on, confirm, and I will basically just create a sprint which is empty sprint, right? And of course, this sprint is there somewhere in Jira. And at the same time, if you look at this particular board, I'm sure there are sprints which are like completed, like they are done. So if you go to sprint report, you can also see this information somewhere. My local Jira instance is not super fast, but it is okay. I'm doing so many other things at the same time on this laptop. So you can see here that sprint 1 is completed, sprint 2 is active, and sprint 3 is of course now in future. And when you go to your JQL, you can type in here sprint, and you can say and by the way, your JQL also supports something like close sprints, feature sprints, and what is the third one? Closed, feature, and open ones, right? And if you of course perform a search, it will give you the issues related to, or issues, all the issues like all the issues that were part of this sprint. Now, of course, we want to do it using Scriptrunner, and for Scriptrunner, what I will do is I will of course go to console, because I really want to just show you something very simple so that you can also do it. So for this particular script, we will look at how we can number one, retrieve a sprint information and how that information is stored. So because sprint information, although you can retrieve it easily using nothing but your custom field. So it is a custom field end of the day, but you can actually retrieve it nicely. And I need to go to the Scriptrunner, and my Scriptrunner license, I think it expired. So let me renew the license, and I'll join you. Okay, so we are back. I had to install license. So let me refresh my Jira, and let me go back to Scriptrunner console. Yeah, so what we are trying to do right now is we are trying to retrieve the the sprint information, and we'll not really do anything complicated. We'll do something very simple. So this is my sprint. This is my issue, SSP3. So the first thing that I will do is I will try to retrieve the issue, and I'll just get rid of few things from here. So we don't need, we just need to retrieve the custom field information. So, and by the way, I think in my previous video I did talk about it. So my issue is SSP23, and the way to retrieve this sprint information is basically very simple. You just type in here the sprint field, and because it is a field, right? And all you need to do is you need to do something like issue.get custom field value, and then of course pass in your custom field. And if you now try to not custom field manager, I need custom field. Okay, so if you now run this, it will give you the sprint information. Now the problem with this, not a problem, but the thing is that sometimes when one issue is moved from one sprint to another sprint, then this will be like multiple values, right? So it won't be just one value. Now basically this is your sprint, right? And let us say define sprint is equal to this. Now what we want to do is we want to now see what we can retrieve from this. So if you do something like, and by the way, you can already see here that there is a state which is closed. So when you do something like sprint star dot, because it is a collection, you can see that there is a flag called active, and if you run this, it will give you false because it is not active, because the sprint is complete, right? Or you can also do something like because it is not active, is it closed? So you can see here, yes, it is closed. And there is also something called as future. So is it in future? No. So if you change something here, let us say you go to the story, and then so this sprint, let us select something which is active, like sprint 2. And if you now go back, and now we have, because we changed the sprint, like it was part of some other sprint and now it is moved to a different sprint. This one is active sprint, and you can see here that this will now return true and then false. So basically it will give you all the sprints it was part of. So basically now you can see here that it says let us do star dot let us do sprint name. Let us see what we get here. Okay, so it says sprint 2, and then it says sprint 1. So it is of course part of sprint 2 now, and it was part of sprint 1 but not anymore, but it is of course there in the database. And of course you can see that sprint 2 is of course the current sprint. Now sometimes you want to do something like only fetch the, in this case of course it has multiple values, you just want to fetch the active one, right? Or maybe you just want to fetch the old ones. So you can always do some groovy magic like this. So you can do here something like find, and or maybe find all. Let us say we are trying to figure out multiple values. So you can do something like find all it dot active. So if you do something like this, because we are basically using this flag, and if you do run, it will only give you the sprint 2. And of course you can now do something like dot name, I guess. No, not name, because it can have multiple values. So dot name. So basically it will give you this sprint. So basically what I'm saying here is that whenever you're retrieving this sprint information, and in general, whenever you're dealing with Jira, whether using REST API or whether using, let us say, a Scriptrunner, always look at what value you get from your fields, because the way you update things back to Jira is similar. You just need to see how it is stored. And in this case, of course, whenever you are trying to update sprint, let us say you have to update a sprint, maybe during issue creation, or maybe during issue creation, you can always use sprint ID, and of course you can fetch the ID here. Right now, of course, we are trying to fetch the name. The sprint ID is 3, and if you have to update, you can use this method. So yeah, that is all I wanted to talk about. So this is of course your active sprint, and if you have the name, of course you can also retrieve the ID and other things. And of course This is useful when you're probably doing some automation where maybe you want to stop people from messing up your sprints, or maybe sometimes there is a requirement that let us not uh, while, let us say, issue creation, or maybe whenever you're copying something somewhere else, maybe you want to avoid uh, doing it for those issues where the sprint they were added to were probably closed or maybe active. Maybe you only want to allow feature sprints. So using this method, you can, I mean, you first need to know how to retrieve the information, right? So that is it. That is all. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. And I hope you also enjoyed and learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.